Today, I'd like to talk about something that is very personal, I guess, and very close to my heart. And it has to do with the medical profession, which I honestly never trusted my whole life, as well as the religious institution. So, with so much as coming into this world knowing things, even as a child, I knew what was right and what was wrong, and what felt right and what felt wrong. And to me, doctors never felt right. Do they serve a purpose? Sure. Do they help? At times. Are they needed for everything that people go to? Absolutely not. All right. I'm going to start with an instance for me, anyway. I was about 28 years old, and I was not overweight, and I was in pretty good shape. And I just went on like a binge, I guess you could say, of eating crap. And I got sick, so I went to the doctor. So right away, they're saying, "Oh, we're gonna have to do blood work." And so he does the blood work, and it comes back telling me my cholesterol is really high, my triglycerides are through the roof. We're gonna have to put you on Lipitor. I was like, what? No, absolutely not. I told him, I'll come back in a month. I go, if these results don't change, you can talk to me further on that. Basically, I went on a no crap diet, and that's all I did. Whatever exercising I was doing at the time, I was doing. I went back. His jaw dropped because on the next blood work, my blood levels were normal. And at that point, already not really trusting doctors, that totally put me over the end with them because so you mean to tell me you're going to just look at me, you're going to run a blood work, and then you're going to just all of a sudden start prescribing medications? Um, what got me to that point? Why were my levels that high? What was I eating? What was I drinking? What was I consuming? None of those questions ever asked. It's right away onto the medication. And I think back, 28 years old, if I would have took Lipitor, what would I have been taking 3 years after that? Some other medication, because now the Lipitor would be affecting other levels in my body. So then I would probably be on two medications 5 years down the road, let's say. Now between the Lipitor, the whatever the hell would be next, now all of a sudden, no, you're losing bone density. We'll have to give you this on top of the Lipitor, the other thing, and this. It's never a remedy. It's always a masking. And yeah, here's an instance too. It's someone I met after Mary Ann died. Um, they were going through issues, and instead of dealing with those issues, because if a therapist or a doctor tells you to go on a medication, you don't just do it. I think it was Ritalin, which is really bad. And instead of trying to just cope, you know, running to like stuff like that because some moron, I'm sorry, with a degree, this piece of paper tells you to do something. I mean, you got to use your common sense. You got to, you know, look into things yourself, and you can't be trusting. It's like people are so programmed. I swear to God, if I walked out there and I put a white coat on and started talking like I knew what the hell I was talking about in the medical field, people would listen. But yet, be the average everyday person and tell them facts to their face, and you're the conspiracy theorist, you know? So, I mean, I deal with this every day too with people in my family. It's like, I just like, I'll say what I'm going to say, and they do whatever they're going to do. You don't want to listen? Okay. Like, there's someone right now. I mean, all they do is take all different medications, keep going to the doctor. And I see looking worse. I see more problems than prior as time goes on because they keep just throwing all this crap on you. So, this brings me to something else. And the reason why I'm speaking on this is because I like to post things that I've looked into, I've experienced. So when I speak on them, I'm speaking out of a place of truth. And people want to attack and, write some mean spirited shit. That's fine, you can, but I'm just going to come back and I'm going to do things like this because I know what's real. I know what's bullshit out there. And hey, listen, I'll present it. You want to hear it? Listen to it. You don't, delete it. I don't give a flying F. So now this brings me back to, the wonderful time of 2020 where everybody ran around with their head up their ass so scared to death because the television kept telling them the big boogeyman is here. All right. With that, the person I was with took ill in, I would say, early December. And this was around 2021. Now, at this time, you really couldn't go anywhere still. Doctors weren't even seeing people. And if you wanted to see a doctor with, to get the right kind of medication, you had to do it online or through a website. And she took ill, and she probably had what was the flu, because that's all that the big CV was the flu enhanced. For that too. Look at the numbers. They don't lie. You want to talk science and numbers? Look back at the time. How many cases of the flu were there? Oh, the flu disappeared. And all of a sudden, this thing appeared? Again, take your head out of your ass. Sorry. So with this, now, went all the alternative routes to get her medication and it took like 2 weeks to get it processed and done. And she was getting better, but she wasn't fully better. So we were at the point where, went through the process again to get more medication for her. And I took care of her. She was with me for, I would say, about a week and a half. She wanted to go back home. So I brought her back home. When she was home, I think she was there for like a day and a half by herself. I believe she really took a turn for the worse there. And she had asked her son to check her out, the nurse. Okay. Now, I didn't even know this at the time until I'll get into that further. But apparently, he gave her an oxygen tester. And I believe she even said her oxygen was low when he checked it. Why didn't he take her to the doctor then? Right then and there. All right. So, further on. She calls me up and asks if I can come back and get her. She doesn't want to be alone. She wasn't feeling right. So I did. I went out, I got her, and now I'm still waiting for that medication to come. Okay. So a day passes. I mean, she's not feeling good, but she's with it. Then all of a sudden she went to sleep, and she woke up, and she was calling me your Uncle Victor. I was like, what? And I could see she was not coherent. So the last thing that I knew that I would have to do, that I never wanted to do, was if it came to it, I'd have to call an ambulance to get her to a doctor. And against every fiber in my body, I did not want to do this. So I contacted her sister, and she tried to help. And then I contacted the son, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call him what he is, moron boy. tells me, "Oh, why don't you just take her in the car and bring her out?" You know, asshole, why don't you just come in and like try and help me? You're a nurse. So then he said, test her oxygen. I'm like, what do you mean test her oxygen? How am I testing her oxygen? I gave her this thing. I didn't even know it. And so I looked through and then I found what it is. And her blood oxygen dropped to like 39. It's supposed to be like 85, 90. So I had no choice. It was either watch her die in front of me or get medical help. So, against every fiber in my body, I called for the ambulance. Went to the hospital. Okay, there's no one in there. Um, the room, like the emergency room, you ever go to an emergency room in a hospital, you got to wait there for hours. There's not a soul in this place. So they take her right away. She's got COVID. Yeah, right. Um, so what they do, they put her on oxygen, which she was on in the ambulance, and all of a sudden became coherent, by the way. And they put her on there for about, I would say, an hour. Now, and during this time, the hospital is wanting me to fill out electronic forms. I will not fill out because in the electronic form, it is different from the forms that you fill out on paper. And I knew that at the time. And you're giving them carte blanche to do whatever the hell they want to you. And I would not do that. So they were searching to get the papers. Meanwhile, her son, the nurse, comes. So now, like I said, I'm not even wearing a mask. I'm in the hospital. This is the time of death. Uh, no one says nothing to me because they can see I'm just like, I'm just going to go off. Um, so I want her out of there. And I'm like, I want to see her. And they're not letting me see her. Now he comes in and they let him in and to see her. And then after about maybe a half hour, apparently he signed the electronic form and all of that. Asshole. And so then they come out. They got her oxygen level up to 82. Like I said, I think 85 is, okay. It's not great, but we got to watch. 90 above, fine. We have to put her on the ventilator. I went ape shit in there. I was like, no, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Take her home. Don't do this. So, Mr. Nurse knows everything. Mr. College graduate, a-hole. I'm sorry. It's the truth. Wouldn't listen to anything. And the sad part, honestly, is before all of this in the summer, he was over my house. And I was talking about this. I was talking about if it comes a time where they're doing something and they're pushing back, don't do it. I knew before this was even coming out. So, they were going to put her on. And I pleaded with them to just see her. And they let me in the room, which they weren't supposed to do. And she was fine. She was sitting up. She had the oxygen in that on. And I remember just holding her hand and looking into her eyes. And I told her I loved her. And somehow I knew that was going to be the last time I was going to see her. She looked fine. She had color. There was no reason for her to still be in there. They could have gave her something and discharged her. They could have wrote a script to get an oxygen thing in the meantime. They could have gave her the proper medication. No, that's not what they do. They put her on the ventilator. They gave her remdesivir. Within a week, she was gone. Now, during this time, I know this is not right, but there's nothing I can do. They won't even let me into the hospital anymore. They won't let me see her. Only her son. And I believe I called him again, and I was, getting all this information and giving it to him. And he said he was giving it to the doctors. Whether he did or he didn't, they're going to lie anyway. Because they were there to make money. They were going to follow whatever the CDC, whatever the WHO, or the bullshit three-letter agency was going to tell them to do. So now I'm looking for an attorney, and I'm looking for a way to get her the hell out of there. Upstate New York, I located an attorney that apparently won 4 cases, Supreme Court, Brooklyn, in cases like this, where they were going to put on a machine and fought to have it not done. Now, here's the best part with this, okay? Even the lawyer was telling me they're going to fight you. They're going to get their attorneys to fight you because he goes, he'll push it through so fast, it's going to happen. Why would a hospital have to have a set of attorneys ready to go on this? What are they covering up? Okay? So, I hire the attorney. The attorney has a doctor. Doctor needs medical history. And I need proxy. This is like Wednesday. Okay? I'm contacting the family. And, I mean, I understand everybody's in disarray. They're upset. And I'm like saying, you got to get me proxy. You got to get Robbie to sign over proxy to me, son. And day goes by. Thursday goes by. It's Friday morning. Now I'm like, I'm starting to get a little, I guess, nasty. Whatever. I know what's coming. I'm doing everything I can. I finally get through, and apparently her mom got through to him and said, okay, he's going to talk to you. He's going to do this. Never answered the phone when I called him that Friday. If he would have, I still believe, I don't care, because what the doctor had told me that I spoke to that was on with this, some of these people were right at that death's door, and they got the right medication, and by the next morning, they were able to breathe on their own. Never got back to me. About 2 a.m. that night, I get a call from him, whimpering, crying, she's gone. If I could have jumped through that phone and wrung his fucking neck, I would have did it. I never got to see her after the day that I saw her in the hospital, which was like a week earlier. And she was sitting up, and she was fine, but she looked scared. And it kills me knowing that she was there for a week. And from what I understand, being on that machine, even though you were out, you're aware. And they let her drown in her own fluid. And this fucking asshole let it happen. These are the people in the medical industry that you are trusting. Even family. These people go in, they follow a book. They follow what they're told. They follow the whole fucking plan of what goes on through your life from fucking childhood, okay? You go to school, the educator up in front of you, the master, is telling you what is right and wrong, and you can't question it. It's the same thing in this with anything else. You get groomed through your whole life, okay? Then you go into your working atmosphere where now you got a new slave owner, and you have to do what they do, what they tell you to do. And then on top of that, with all the other bullshit, the taxation, which is horseshit, should never be. But really dealing with this, I mean, honestly, this is the God's honest truth. If you're not with someone in there that is good, you're fucked. This is what your government does. Read it. Okay? Now, with cures that are out there and available and have been and were presented to the government, these people suddenly fall out a window. into a car accident, plane crashes, all these people that are filing patents on cures and things like that, or technology that will help, they suddenly disappear. Okay? Okay, I gotta watch with like some of these, even the cursing. I'm sorry, I'm pissed. I get pissed. I'm like reliving this in a way, and I do forgive, but I will never forget, because if I forget, then I'm just going to accept and let all these things happen. This is why I fight. This is why I come on here. This is why I present the things I present, because I looked at them for 30 plus freaking years. I know what I'm talking about when I put things up there. You don't like it, you don't believe it, go away. Don't care. Again, watch this one too. The V word, because they just try to change the name. Now, I'm showing you this because I've had people talk to me, I've had people attack me, and it follows that pattern of, okay, there's no coincidences. Speak on this. There's a possibility come the fall, some other bullshit like this happens again, and they'll try and push all things on you. Undoubtedly, because there's an election, and what's going on now with your former wonderful Mr. Obama, people that love him, look into him real carefully, okay? Uh, Trump was right, by the way. He was never a citizen, okay? He was one of the most evilest son of a bitches ever, along with the rest of the D party. Sorry, look into it. Not that the other one is any better, but now, on my Telegram, all this is still there. Okay, after she passed away, I wanted to help people. I knew this was my calling. This is why I'm here. I'm here to help, whether it's through the cards I create, through the spiritual work that I'm doing. It's mostly truth, it's speaking truth. This was the attorney. Okay, if you go on there, you click the link, you'll find it. This was the result of me doing this. Okay? What I could not do because I was stopped, someone else did do. And I hope to God you could see this. Someone emailed me. Like I took out the email address and that, but you can see the date and that. Okay. Apparently this person's mom, they were going through the same thing. And he came across what I posted. And they actually hired the attorney, the doctor. And it was kind of the same thing that the lawyer told me was going to be, what he told me. The hospital fought it. They won. They got her off the machine. They got her the IV medicine. In a day, it was clearing up. That woman survived. I still don't know what I'm talking about, huh? Oh, I'm a conspiracy theorist, huh? Take your head out of your fucking ass already. I'm sorry. I'm spiritual, but I'm truthful. I believe in love and light, but sorry, sometimes the fucking truth hurts and you gotta hear it. It's sickening. It really is, when I think about it. But, I mean, that's the result. Trust the medical profession with your life, and you'll have no life. There's an easy way to fix this, but who's going to do that? I mean, it'll cut into profits. Instead of having doctors paid by the insurance companies, which is another crock of shit, because you can never get what you need done unless you see 8 of them, because it is a racketeering business. Change the medical profession to paid by cure basis. So if you're in this for money, then you better be damn freaking good. Because if you're not curing anybody, you're not going to get paid. What do you think would happen to the medical industry then? Doctors would become wonders because there are so many that follow the hypocrite oath. Remember, play on words. They can only do what they're told to do. They go against that, they lose their license. And they can't practice anymore. And who are they practicing on? They're practicing on you. Okay? Change it. So they get paid on curing people. Let's see how long you go to a doctor then. Let's see how many visits you have to go to before your problem is taken care of. That ever happens like that, and insurance companies get dwindled down to almost nothing, and you clean up this government a little bit, all of a sudden your old patents that were hidden will come out. The cures are probably so goddamn simple. I mean, I believe it's as simple as taking parasites out using sound frequency and vibration, and you can cure cancer. Why do you need to put Agent Orange in your veins that kills every cell in your body and makes people suffer? And what do you get out of that? Another week of life? I'll die of cancer if it comes big. I'll try my own alternative ways, and I'll probably survive. It really makes me sick. It really does. I'm sorry, but truth is truth. Lived it, experienced it, been through it. Even myself, back in 2000, I believe it was, I had a lump on my throat. Going for all these tests. These idiots had me dying of lymphoma, okay? They have to go in and do a biopsy. And I saw more than one. I saw about 4. They all say the same thing. Moron, you're going to die. So I get that done. Well, it's being a cyst. You trust these people? I don't know. Like I said, there are things that they're needed for. Someone contacted me, replying back too, and this is what actually pushed me, was the last step where I got to do this. Where their friend, whatever, never believed in going to doctors and had liver failure. Or kidney failure was. I'm sorry to hear that. But how many symptoms did you have leading up to it? I'm sure it didn't just come on overnight. Myself, if I know there's something wrong with me, I'll go find out. I'll get blood work to see, and then I'll try and do something myself first. If I ever needed one of them to do something, I would do it. But I wouldn't do a lot of things that most people do. Mostly, I believe that doctors should be there for things that happen. Broken bones, transplants, things that are, needed. But for a lot of the crap that people go for, it's as simple as changing your diet. Get off your fucking ass and move. Walk a little bit. Don't try and hide everything with something else. Because all this stuff does is mask. It does nothing to cure you. It's a business. It's a practice. Curious people, how many of you people, since you started going to the doctor, still have to go? Because you have to be monitored. You have to be blood work taken. Because these medications do nothing but mask. They do nothing to cure you. They do nothing to help you. They hide the symptoms that make you more ill down the road. Yeah. And what they do on the television over the past 7 years, all you see is commercials for this. Things you can't even pronounce, things you can't buy. Why would I want to go discuss any of this with my doctor about having any of this crap On every side effect is death. I don't get it. I really don't get a lot of people. What's it going to take? What's it going to take for you to wake up? Turn off the television, research, look further into things. You will find one thing that will lead you to find another thing, to find another thing, and then to find another thing. If you look. If not, live blindly, live by their rules, live by what they want you to do, and you're going to be one miserable, sorry person in 5, 10 years from now. All you'll have will be taken away. All your freedoms will be gone. You decide. Do you want to be free? Do you want to live under like crap like this? Are you going to stand up and speak? And it doesn't mean coming on here. It doesn't mean, it means talking to the person next to you, trying to have a conversation with someone. Wake someone up. It's not too late. I've already reached a few people that years ago did not want to hear anything. And it's just by me, I just will do this. I will post. You want to hear it? Listen to it. You don't, turn it off. Simple. But no one's going to stop me from speaking what I know is true. No one's going to stop me from trying to help people in any way I can. I've lived this. I went through this. There are other people I know that went through the same crap because of ignorance, because of fear, because of brainwashing. What's it going to take? Namaste.